Welcome to Maslow 6 Wine School. We talked about a lot of different things throughout this school. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is really fun and something you might not think about, red wine for the summer. So we have a bunch of different wines here in front of us that I think would be great for summer. What makes a red wine great for summer? Well, in my mind, the wine has to have a lot of fruit. So I like fruity, happy things in the summer. Who doesn't? It's kind of a simple time. You want to just enjoy yourself and not think too hard about things. So they have to have a lot of fruit. They have to have a juicy character to them, so some good acidity, something that makes your mouth water, and something that makes you just go yum, just plain yum. And they also, for me, need to be a little lower in tannin. And that's that astringent dryness in your mouth that you get when you drink like a big Chianti or a big California Cabernet, and calls for sort of a heavier meal. And for summer, I think people think lighter and fresher. So these wines here are going to go with everything from nothing to simple salads, to grilled steaks with fresh sides like salads and burgers and pizzas and all that good stuff. Barbecue, we're going to get to some barbecue over here too. Now we also have a couple of great wines that are great for sangria, which is a good summer drink that you can make with wine. And good candidates for those would be wines under 20, something like this Bonarda over here or this Gamay over here. And tune back in for another video because we're going to be making some sangria at Maslow 6 and talking about how to make the best sangria that you can make with your money. But before we get to sangria, let's just talk about some straight up summer reds. So some of my favorite grapes for summer, we have Gamay here, and this is Gamay, you see it on the bottle here. Now Gamay is the main grape of Beaujolais, and Beaujolais is a perfect summer wine because it is low in tannin, it has great acidity, and this sort of crunchy cranberry, raspberry type fruit to it. And it goes with lots of different foods. You can even throw it in the chiller for about 15-20 minutes and drink it with a little bit of a chill. Another no-brainer grape for summer, Pinot Noir. This one is from New Zealand, and this one is made by Huya, and it's really, really wonderful. It's under 30 bucks. It's full flavored, and it will stand up to barbecued chicken. It'll stand up to a hamburger, but it's also really great with a grilled chicken salad. So light, fresh, easy, and it's smooth enough you could drink it on its own for cocktails. Now we go to Malbec. Now Malbec is a grape that America is in love with. Malbec, Malbec, Malbec. People just can't get enough Malbec. I can't get enough Malbec. This one, easy. This is an Argentinian Malbec, and that's what most people think of when they think of Malbec. Big, rich, meaty wines that are great with steaks. This particular one from Duragudi has a really nice earthiness to the back of it, sort of in the background on your tongue when you drink it, and it's also not as heavy and as oaky as some Malbec can be. It's about $16 on the shelf, so it's not too expensive, and it's a great burger wine. Now this one is a little bit different. This one is from France, and oddly enough, even though we think Argentina and Malbec in the same breath, they actually do a lot more of it in France than we think, and that's where the grape comes from. This one is from the Loire Valley, and you'll see on the label here, and this one's just a little bit cheeky, he calls it Co. And K-O-T, or C-O-T rather, that's what they call it in the Loire Valley. So you can see here he's just being a little funny, called In Co We Trust. In God we trust, but here we trust in Malbec. I trust in Malbec. Now this one's a little weird, something you might not reach for every day, but it's a wine that I love. I love Austria. This grape here is called St. Laurent, and this is made by a guy named Umatum. It looks a little bit scary, but it's not. It's sort of Austria's answer to Pinot Noir. Now Austria does grow a lot of Pinot Noir, but this acts a lot like Pinot Noir. So juicy fruit, not a lot of tannins, and is beautiful with food, nice and light-bodied, and you can throw it in the fridge. We're going to move to a couple of other things over here. Another sort of scary-looking bottle. This one is from a wonderful producer in Rioja. And Rioja is Tempranillo with a little bit of oak. So it's not a heavy, heavy wine. And this one is made by a producer called Lopez de Heredia, who most sommeliers really, really love. Their wines are a little atypical, but they're light, they're juicy, they're fresh, and good with anything that's on the grill. And it's light enough that you could do this one even with grilled shrimp, grilled shellfish, anything like that. Maybe not grilled oysters. I think I might stick with shrimp, with mussels, which are a little bit sweeter, and maybe a good grilled lobster. Now we have something else a little bit different. This is also from Argentina, so from the same place as the Malbec, but the grape here is called Bonarda, and so you can see that here on the label. This is Familia Maiol's Bonarda. Now Bonarda is a grape, it's an Italian grape, but there's a lot of Italians in Argentina. They came from Italy. They brought their vines with them and planted them in Argentina. This one does actually much better than a grape variety sort of a similar name in Italy. It produces a much juicier, fruit-forward wine in Argentina, lower tannins than Malbec, but it matches it head-on with that big, bold fruit. But but a little bit lower in tannin. So this one is really delicious. And once again, about $16, $17 on the shelf. Now we're going to move to a couple of other things that you might think about in the summer. This is Zinfandel. And Zinfandel can be pink. And most people actually, like myself, cut my teeth on pink Zinfandel, which we call white Zinfandel. They're a little bit sweet, they're a little bit sappy, they're kind of fun, and you know what? It's a good introduction to wine. Zinfandel is actually a red grape, and it's actually quite a big red grape, kind of spicy, kind of big, so I really like it with barbecue. It's not too heavy. This one isn't too heavy, and Zinfandel can be very, very heavy, or it can be kind of light. Spicy, sort of brambly, reminds me of summer blackberries and walking through a blackberry patch. Pair this up with spicy barbecue, and it is so delicious. It just really, to me, sings summer. And this is one of the more expensive selections I've chosen today. I think it's about $25. And then last but not least, our good old friend Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, Cabernet Sauvignon can be a big, heavy monster. Not so with something like the Collision Point, which is from Lake County. It's not as full-bodied as something that you might expect from Napa or from Sonoma or from Paso Robles. And this one is made with just a minimal amount of oak, so it's a little lighter bodied. It's another great burger wine. And at $14 for California Cabernet Sauvignon, you can say no. So all these great wines available at Maslow 6. You'll find other wines very similar to it in stores across the country. So for your summer wines, what are you looking for? We're looking for great fruit, we're looking for enjoyability, and we're looking for a great price. So for under $30, we have at least 9 selections here and probably more on the shelf that you could fill your summer with. Just don't have summer without them. And they also make some great sangrias. So join us in a couple weeks where we'll be talking about some summer wine cocktails. And join us again at Maslow 6 Wine School. Follow us on Twitter and on YouTube. Thanks.